Maybe you're like me and you think that fashion and fashion design is absolutely fascinating and thrilling and exciting. But the number one question is always, can you make a living with fashion design? And I'm here to say yes, it is absolutely possible to make a living with your own designs. I'm doing this since 15 years now and I will show you how. But to be honest, what does "can you make money" really means? Let's do some very simple math here. So let's say you want 1,000 euros, dollars, or whatsoever net income. Then you have, like, for example, a t-shirt, which is 36 euros, including tax. This is the price where you sell it to the customers. In Austria, we have 20% tax, so that means 30, because the tax is not belonging to you, 30 euros would be the net price. And let's assume, for example, just for the sake of this calculation, the t-shirt costs about 12 euros, plus 2 euros is the printing, plus a euro shipping and so ever. So it's like 15 euros is your profit. And if you calculate now 1,000 divided through 15, you need around 67 t-shirts sold, which means about 804 t-shirts per year. That's a lot of t-shirts. I mean, this is a very, very simple and very naive calculation maybe, but just to bring awareness that sales is very, very important. And this brings us to number one. I think marketing and sales is the number one most important thing that you have to focus when you are an independent label and when you want to be a successful fashion designer and when you want to make a living out of that, of course. A lot of very talented young designers, they spend so much work and money and effort in bringing out a very beautiful products, and they deal a lot with inspiration and great design techniques and sewing techniques and pattern making and stuff like that. And then they have this really beautiful, maybe very sellable product, and then they just post one post on Instagram and then they think it will sell like crazy. Are you serious? Are you really serious? You did put so much work and love and money and effort in this, and then you just post a picture on Instagram or something like that? You have to really market it. And there are a ton of marketing ideas and sales techniques where you can improve and make it better. I made so many videos about that, and yeah, check them out. But like word of mouth marketing, if you're doing offline shops or online shops or whatsoever, but you need to focus on that and you need to sell to the right clientele. So marketing and sales is by far the most important thing. And now up to the second most important thing. Know whom you are selling to. I see this so often. Let's say a sportswear brand. You're doing a sportswear brand. Why should somebody very young, athletic, cool, sportsweary should need something very elaborated evening gown? Why? I mean, know whom you are selling for and what the needs of your customer are. And also it is very important that you sell really to your customers, so you can see the fit, you can see what they need and what the specialities of your target audience is. You need to be very, very assured that it fits well, that it's in the right size range and so on. So you need to know whom you are selling. I think the easiest way to get a lot of very good insight is when you sell offline to your right audience, or offline to collect data. So have a shop, sell in a shop and really deal with the customers. This is also a thing that I see is a problem for a lot of designers. They don't want to talk to their customer, but this is the people who will bring your revenue. So please talk to them. Please talk to your audience and your customers and ask them questions. This is very, very important. So know whom you are selling to. And number 3 is don't develop too much. Have a very tight, consistent collection. If you develop too much, your collection will look totally messed up. Nobody will understand it and will buy it, and it will be very hard for you to collect data, and it is also throwing out a lot of money for developments that don't sell. So if you're interested how a whole collection is made, there is a video on that. Check that out. Fashion is an absolutely business, and this brings me to my next point. Have it a full-time job. If you're working in a bar or something that has nothing to do with fashion, you will not have success. So make it a full-time living job that you are dedicating your whole time to it. This is very, very important. Okay, the next tip sounds like very overstated and very general, but have the right mindset. If you are sure that it's not going to be successful and that you will never have a living out of that, why should it then be happening? I mean, if you bake somebody a cake and you know, or you're saying yourself, I have never baked a cake before and it will be the worst cake ever, then it will probably turn out the worst cake ever you have baked in your life. But if you try and if you follow steps like the real recipe and so on, it can turn out to be like the right best thing you have ever baked in your life. So have the right mindset. It's really hard to describe how to have a right mindset, but in your head, you have to be focused and clear and super excited about your things that you are going to sell. So please, never be frustrated, or try not to be frustrated, and go on. And what can happen if you fail? Then you fail. Then you stand up and you go on. But if you are embarrassed and fear gets in your way, it will not happen. So have the right mindset. And my ultimate last tip is don't stick to things that don't work. I want to give you an example. I was developing for years and years and years trousers also in my female collection, and they never sold. And my ego got me in my way, and I said, no, I can develop trousers for ladies wear. But in my target audience, there was no demand for trousers. So I just simply said, okay, quit that. And this is what I would highly recommend to you. Don't let your ego think that you cannot quit something and that you have to stick to it. For example, in the development of a certain product type. So please don't stick to things that don't work. That are my tips for being a full-time fashion designer and how you can make money with fashion design. And of course, I would be very happy if you give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. But there is also a video about how a whole collection is being made. So check that out.